Welcome to My Autistic Experience, a podcast where we explore the unique journey of living on the autism spectrum through the eyes of my favorite co-host and son, Aaron. I'm Dr. Divina Lopez, a pediatrician, autism expert, and most importantly, I'm Aaron's mom. In each episode, we'll share stories, insights, and reflections from Aaron's life, starting from his early toddler days to his adventures as a preteen. Whether you're an autism parent, a professional, or simply curious about life on the spectrum, you're in the right place. So let's dive in together and celebrate what makes each and every experience extraordinary.
Thanks for listening. Now let's get started.
Hi, and welcome back to the My Autistic Experience series on the Dancing into Parenthood podcast.
Welcome back.
With Mr. Aaron over here.
Hi, everyone.
And I'm Dr. Divina Lopez, and this is my son. He's 12 years old. And in this episode, we're going to talk about his toddlerhood experience. When Aaron was a toddler, he did not have a diagnosis yet. I want to say it was after 2 years old that even before that, I had noticed some signs and symptoms that were concerning to me for him having been on the spectrum, but he did not have a diagnosis, and his pediatrician did not have any concerns regarding his development. The things that I did bring up were mostly related to like sleep. I did notice some sort of like stimming behaviors when he was younger. There was some hand flapping like earlier on when he was excited, and he definitely had a very special interest, which was the guitar at first. That was like the first special interest. I think, at that
remember
time.
my two favorite musicians, Lori, I think her name was Lori.
Oh yes, that she used to play the guitar.
Yeah.
I
Lori,
her.
I forget her last name. And Guitar Bob, I loved Guitar Bob.
They both played guitar. Lori played guitar, and she was like on one of the networks, and she would sing her. Oh my goodness, we have to find out her name. I forgot her name.
Yeah, I
Lori
remember.
Green? No,
I don't think it.
we have to look up her name.
Yeah, but yeah, she's real.
She was great. We loved
Lori. Lori, if you're watching this, you're great.
she's really great. We did a lot of her songs every single day. We would dance in the playroom.
I remember the song "Let's Go Swimming." Let's go swimming. Yeah, I loved that one when I was little.
There was a lot of songs that we really loved of hers, and my favorite was "Under the Shady Tree." You and me.
Yeah, I remember
under
that
the
one.
Shady tree. So the point being is that Aaron was really obsessed with guitars back then.
Yeah, I sure was. I even had a toy guitar. I had several toy guitars.
Several toy guitars because he took them everywhere he went. It was really cute because when we were at church, he always used to play his guitar. Actually, we have a guitarist at the church, Jay.
Yeah.
And he was also, the first guitarist that maybe at church that you really loved was Denise, and now we have Jay. And yeah, you used to play your little guitar in the pews.
Oh.
And it was adorable.
And also remember how I mentioned Guitar Bob. I went to some of Guitar Bob's live concerts
in the library.
Yeah, in the library. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, like the library is supposed to be quiet, but I mean, why not have at least one day of noise in the library? I mean, why not?
It was a fun time.
Yeah, and Guitar Bob, if you're watching this, you're great too.
All right. So, like, what are some of the memories that you have about being a toddler?
Do you want me to list good or bad or good and bad?
Doesn't matter. Whatever you want. What are some memories?
I used to go to this school called My Storybook Center, and there was this teacher that was not very nice to me at all.
Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about what she did that made you feel?
She didn't understand my autism, or I mean, no one really understood it. I hadn't been diagnosed yet, but I was supposed to be in pre-K 3, but they moved me into pre-K 4 because they didn't have any more room for students in pre-K 3. I don't understand why you guys just decided to move me to a different school completely.
Yeah, I wanted to move you to another school. That's a different story. It was just for a year, and then after that, I just made sure we got you out of there.
Yeah, that teacher was. I mean, there was this other teacher that was very nice, but the other one.
We were really lucky to have Miss Diana in the same class because
her name was Miss Diane. Yeah,
Miss Diana was definitely kinder to Aaron and more gentle with him. And Aaron is the kind of kid.
Miss Diana, if you're watching this, thank you.
Yeah, she supported him in a way that the main teacher in the classroom wouldn't. Actually, the main teacher in the classroom would make me feel like I was doing something wrong as a mom. I think Miss Diana understood that Aaron had some delays, and for example, like feeding him lunch, he still didn't use utensils very well back then, and so he would take a really long time eating, and there's limited time for them to eat. That was really challenging because I was afraid that he wasn't getting fed enough food. He was already like on the smaller side, and so that was always like an anxiety that I had with him being, especially in that preschool, particularly since the main teacher was being really difficult and not understanding. Tell me, what are some of the things that you remember that were good or bad experiences in that pre-K 3 classroom?
Well, the good thing was Miss Diana, and I mean, some of the kids were pretty nice to me, and I also loved watching videos while I was waiting for my parents to pick me up, since they had to work late, and then sometimes I wouldn't be out of there until 5 p.m. So then I would be watching TV. I remember watching SpongeBob. I think I may have watched Yo Gabba Gabba once in there. I'm not 100% sure though.
That was like his favorite. Mm-hmm.
Actually, because those kids on the other side, since they were pre-K 3, they weren't ready to learn things yet. All they did back there was do arts and craft, play, and watch movies and stuff. And I heard them playing my favorite TV show at the time, which was Yo Gabba Gabba, and I'm like, I don't get to watch it, no fail. I was so sad that I didn't get to see it.
It was like a pretty structured pre-K 4 class.
Yeah, because I heard them on the other side, because there wasn't even a wall separating us. There was just this big bookshelf separating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a very small school.
Yeah, there were just these cubbies and a bookshelf that were separating the two areas. So it wasn't even two separate rooms. It was really just one big room, really.
And because Aaron, his birthday is in December, that's the reason why it was like kind of like borderline-ish, and they were like, we don't have any more space in the pre-K 3 room, so he went to the pre-K 4.
Which ended up being a mistake.
Yeah, because he was delayed in areas they just were not being understanding about and not offering support at all, and instead making it feel like it was our fault, at least my fault as the mom. Even like for his behaviors, they would like try to tell me like I was not strict enough with him, not structured enough with him. And actually, I'm a pretty like routine person. I think I have pretty good structure with my kid. How did they make you feel when it came to like behavior?
It hurt and it scared me, because back then, and still sometimes today, I get scared when people yell. And like, I don't get as scared when people yell now, but back when I was little, it was even more scarier than it is to me now. Like, it sounded louder to my ears, and the people looked bigger since I was, smaller.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that mean teacher, she always yelled at me, and she always got really frustrated with me really easy. And every time, like, someone would pick me up and she was still there, because sometimes, like, whenever I stayed till like 5, she had already left. Mm-hmm. But sometimes when my parents picked me up on time, she would just tell them that I wasn't behaving very well. And it hurt.
Yeah. And a lot of times when I would go to pick you up, you were like by yourself, sitting by yourself. And I remember her calling you a bad boy one time. And I mean, I feel like it was more than one time, but that one time that I think was the first time that I heard her saying that, I was like, why are you saying that? Like, why are you using that language that he's a bad boy? So I knew that this teacher was not a good fit for him and that he needed a different classroom for the next school year. It was the beginning of our divorce, and it was really hard just navigating all the things. And
Yeah, by that time, Mom and Dad had already been divorced for about a year.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
it
got
was
divorced
hard.
when I was only 2, so before I even started going to school.
Yeah, and I remember like this preschool being affordable. They had longer hours, which we needed. It was close in proximity to my home. And it was actually like my neighbor who told me about it because all the kids in on the same block that we lived on, they all went there and they highly recommended it. So, it was just not a good fit for you. So let's move on. Let's talk about other things that you remember as a toddler.
Well, can I just mention one other thing about that place?
Mhm.
Sometimes that teacher would give me time out for no reason. And because we would
Behavior
sit
stuff.
outside. We would sit outside and we wouldn't be able to play with the other kids at recess. And I remember this one time when I was on timeout for no reason at all. And I remember forgetting why I was there, and then I started playing with all the other kids. And then that mean teacher's like, you're in timeout. And then I'm like, that's why I was sitting there. And then I go back. So, and then I go back to that, to that brick wall where I was sitting.
They made him sit there a lot. Like when I would go pick him up, he was there a lot. And I think one of the most heartbreaking memories that I have of you in that school was when the pre-K 4 class was graduating, but he wasn't graduating because he wasn't really officially pre-K 4. He was really pre-K 3. So imagine he's in an advanced class when he has some delay. So it just makes it feel even more delayed, right? And they were practicing for their graduation, and I think we had OT or something, so I had to bring you later. I used to pick him up and then take him to the hospital for OT and then bring him back. When I dropped you off, they were all outside and they were practicing for their graduation, and they had that Justin Timberlake song, the I got that sunshine in my
I
pocket.
remember that. I remember
And they were
that.
all like dancing, and then they told Aaron to sit on the side because Aaron wasn't a part of the graduation thing. And then I saw him just dancing all by himself.
Yeah, I remember dancing with the other kids to that song. I never remember sitting in the corner, but oh my God.
No. Yeah, when I
That's
drove
so-
off, I almost started crying because you were just dancing all by yourself, and I was like, "Oh my God!" That's when I was like, "I gotta get him out of there."
Yeah, I
Because
was
they
like,
should have just
pleading
let
for
you
me.
dance with the other kids instead.
Even if I'm not a part of the graduation, why not just let me dance?
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that because those are some sad memories. What are some good memories that you have from your toddlerhood?
I mean, I don't know if you count that, but the beginning of ACS. I mean, because at the intro of going to ACS, I mean, it was pretty good, and
This is the new school that we went to. After that, we
Yeah,
moved to a new
and-
town, and then he started a new school there.
yeah. So I remember my first teacher over there at ACS in
Miss
Leonia
Minnie.
was Miss Minnie. Yeah,
Who was the other teacher in the class? She loved you. She was so good. I loved her so much.
Miss.
The blonde hair girl with the glasses.
Goody?
Yes, Miss Goody.
No, not Goody. Scooty.
Scooty. Yes, Miss Scooty.
Yeah,
She
and
was so good.
yeah, they were both really nice. And I remember the first time I walked in there, and I was in pre-K 4 officially this time. And Miss Minnie told me to sit next to this kid, and I said hi to him. He said hi to me, and me and him giggled. And I thought this was gonna lead to an amazing friendship, but it ended up causing some problems in later years. I rather wouldn't talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a different podcast episode.
Well, yeah,
but
but-
let's talk about like what did you find like positive things from your toddlerhood.
My favorite memories are when, like, from my toddler years was when we lived in that house, and it was a really nice house, and it was big. It had a house on the top and a house on the bottom, and our neighbors were basically right under us. And I remember we were also very good friends with our neighbors. And
Yeah, Ella was cool.
yeah, we still would have been friends if my mom didn't lose Ella's mom's number. Unfortunately, when we moved, something happened. Either they changed their phone number or something just happened, and we unfortunately lost and completely disconnected from them. I hope that someday we will be reconnected, but only God can tell what's going to happen.
What were some good things that happened to you as a toddler? That means 2 to 4 years old.
My 4th birthday.
Okay, that's what you were supposed to talk about.
Yeah, my 4th birthday at Chuck E. Cheese was amazing. We had it at the location in Wayne, New Jersey. To those of you that are Chuck E. Cheese fans, that location had a road stage. So, yeah, in later years, I visited it and I saw the road stage more and more until they got the 2.0 remodel. It was a lot of fun going to that one and to my other local locations, the animatronics that are in North Bergen. There was this guy called John. He was the technician for the animatronics, and he actually gave me a tour backstage, and he took off some of Chucky's cosmetics and showed me how he moves, and I got to see that the Wink is wirelessly connected to Chuck. It was pretty cool seeing all that, and I got to see
about animatronics was cool. Going to Chuck E. Cheese and seeing the animatronics was good for you.
Yeah, those animatronics were always close to my heart until the last day. I remember going
They still are. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, yeah, but I meant like the last time they were local to me.
I think
I
we
got
need
to see
do
them.
a whole podcast just
One
on
more time.
animatronics. We're gonna
We do.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, now let's talk about some other things from when you were a toddler. And by the way, for everybody watching this podcast, that's called info dumping, and he does
What's
it
info dumping?
constantly. When you talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and
Sorry.
give all the facts and facts and facts, and he gets very excited about
Is that good or bad?
What do you think?
Good?
You think it's good, so you want to share it, and sometimes it is good, but sometimes like when it's me and you're telling me the same things over and over and over again, I'm like, oh Lord. Let's reflect back on those big emotions that you used to have, or that you still have occasionally, but remember you had them a lot when you were a toddler.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have tantrums anymore. I just
No. But I'm talking about like when you were a toddler, you did have those.
Yeah, but it's not like I have tantrums anymore. Now, I mean, I might cry a bit, but like.
But you remember how you used to do it back then? Screaming, throwing himself to the floor, kicking. But that's how bad it was. And I remember a horrible time where we went to go see Thomas. And it was a Thomas live show at the Botanical Gardens, and this guy had the best time at the show. We had so much fun at the show. And then once it was over, there was like a line and you could get up on the stage and I guess I take a picture with Thomas. And let me tell you that this little boy had the biggest tantrum ever. We also missed your nap. I think that was a huge mistake.
Wait, why didn't we meet Thomas?
No, maybe we did meet Thomas. I don't even remember. Maybe we did.
Wait, why wouldn't we?
The line was really long. And we had to hurry up and get home because it was time for your nap. And then you missed your nap. And then I had to change his diaper. And I went to the restroom with him to change it. And I couldn't even get him on the diaper changing thing. And it was so bad. I ended up having to change his diaper on the floor because I was afraid he was going to fall and hurt himself. And then I couldn't even get him in his car seat after that.
I did that?
It happened another time when we went to Turtleback Zoo. You wanted to keep going on the carousel. I think I had like, it was like $1 for each ride or whatever. Maybe I only had 3 singles on me. So we went on 3 times, and then you were like, again. And I was like, I can't go again because I don't have another $1. And you were like, no. Like you wanted to go on each and every one of those different animals that they had. And I was like, Aaron, we gotta go. And then it was so bad. It was so bad. Everybody was like staring at me. And I couldn't get him back in his stroller. And he was really strong. And he was like throwing himself. So I couldn't put the little belt for the stroller on to get you in the little harness thing. And I remember this one mom coming up, or she was a grandma, I think. She came out to me and she's like, did he miss his nap? And I was like, yes, he did. I will never do this again. Oh my goodness. That day was so embarrassing for me. It felt so embarrassing for me.
I'm embarrassed.
I know. It was some tough times. How about like Sesame Place and stuff like that? You used to love going there.
Oh yeah.
That was another interest, a very special interest that he had for a very long time.
Remember that one time we went there and like they completely remodeled the neighborhood and they had the new street show, which is our street, is Sesame Street, and they added Big Bird's Nest and remember Snuffy was doing a meet and greet over there, Mr. Snuffleupagus, Big Bird's best friend. Yeah, that big brown Snuffleupagus. Yeah, he was so huge that I actually kind of got a little bit scared when I actually got to meet him. And he was inside of the Abby's Paradise Theater up on the stage, and like all the kids got to go up on the stage to meet him. And then I remember when the first time I met him, and then when I was getting off the stage, Snuffy's Snuffle, otherwise known as his trunk, touched my back. And then I turn around and I look at him and I'm like, and I was scared.
I remember you loving those live shows and wanting to go and dance with all the characters. Like, yeah. Aaron always loved characters. He always loved the shows.
Excuse me. Speaking of which, I met a lot of the characters like in a meet and greet. Elmo, Abby, Big Bird, so we would Snuffy, Cookie Monster, Honker.
Line because the kid needed a photo with every one of them. Every single time.
Ernie, Bert, you name it. I probably met everyone. Except Prairie Dawn. I don't think I ever met Prairie Dawn. But yeah, I pretty much met everyone. Grover, I think I met Grover, right? Yeah.
So it was a lot of that stuff. Like, I would plan all of my, and I still do, plan all of my activities with him regarding whichever special interest he has. Because actually, like, traveling with him is very easy if it's something he wants to do. But if it's something he doesn't want to do, then it's going to be quite difficult to get him on board to doing it.
I mean, if it's optional, like I don't have to do it, then I'm probably going to say no, like if it's something I don't want to do. But if it's something I have to do and it's something I don't want to do, I'll go, but I'm not going to enjoy it.
But let's also talk about, like, how did you handle your emotions back then?
I just let them all out and then eventually let myself calm down by letting it all out.
Because you didn't know how to say I was angry or sad or stuff like that. It would just be like big, huge emotions all the time, right? It would be like you just would have to start crying, or you would have to, whatever it was in the moment that you wanted. Like, for example, remember in Christmas time, whenever like Santas are out and Frosty especially, if he couldn't go to each and every one of those things on the block, what would happen? You couldn't drive past it. You could not drive past it without letting him out of the car and allowing him to go on people's property, even walking with him in the neighborhood, like from school to home. No, you don't have to feel embarrassed. We're just talking about this because you know what? It helps other families, Aaron. Because maybe their kids are doing the same thing and maybe those parents don't know what to do and they think like, oh my goodness, this is never going to end. It ends at some point.
Obviously.
Right.
Nowadays, I'm just like, hey, look over there. Wow. Without having to get out of the car, obviously.
But also, you've learned to manage your emotions better too, right?
Definitely. I'm the manager of my emotions now.
Yeah, what are some of the coping tools that you use that you didn't use back then? Breathing, yes.
I'm gonna tip my finger to the middle of my palm.
Oh, show everybody that. Can you show?
I can be calm. this word has grown too big and cannot stay. I take a deep breath
and blow it away.
and blow it away.
So that's a really good one to teach your child. And I remember you taught everybody in your class.
Yeah, I
how to
learned
do
that when I
that.
was in 2nd grade.
And he did teach everybody in his class virtually because that was during the pandemic. When you look back at like your baby photos or videos that we have of you from that time period when you were a toddler, how do you feel when you look at those photos and videos? He loves to see videos of himself and photos.
Yeah, like how do I feel when I see them? I feel good.
Do you have like...
Unless they're videos of me singing, then I get embarrassed because I can't sing that too good.
No, that's not true. He has a really great voice.
No, it is true. It is true. It is true. True. She's lying. She's lying.
He has a beautiful voice, but he doesn't.
I have a beautiful talking voice.
And a singing voice.
No, I don't
He
have a
doesn't like
singing voice.
attention on
Watch what
himself.
happens when I try to sing.
Talking about this, wait. I'm happy you brought this up actually, because remember when we used to go to that little park that we used to go to where they used to have like the band and the shows?
Oh, I remember that.
What are things you used to do when you were over there?
I pretended to go on that stage and I pretended to be Chuck E. Cheese dancing on. I even made the face that the walk around costume had, and I just danced.
He used to love being on stages when he was a kid.
I still do every once in a while.
And he would go up there and do like a whole production and people would pay attention to him. I thought that was like really fun and cool for him. And then he kind of shied away from all of that because now he doesn't like attention on himself.
I became more of a shy person.
Yeah, you were definitely more introverted back then. Anything else you want to add before we end this episode?
Oh man, we're already ending it.
Oh, remember OT? The OT at the hospital?
Yeah, I remember.
How did you feel about starting therapy? That was the first time he started therapy.
I don't really remember, honestly. I just remember the experience. I don't really remember my feelings that much.
I think you really liked her, though. His first therapist was really, really good with him.
What was her name again?
I think it was Katya.
Well, she was a nice person. Very
nice person. She was really great, and she knew how to engage him really well. He looked forward to those sessions with her. So,
we just decided what next week's episode is going to be about, but we're not going to tell you because we don't want to spoil it.
All right, so signing off. This was episode number 2, and make sure that you stick with us for this series. Episode number 3, which will come out next week, is going to be really cool for you. Aaron has some cool stuff to show you.
Yeah, I do. And yeah, next week. And also, once my dream comes true and I own the Rocket Fire Explosion, all because of you guys donating money for this podcast, we will make a special video. Right, Mom?
Who's donating money to you?
Or not donate. Or how do podcasts make money?
We'll figure that out.
Or however it happens. I'm sorry if I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. What, Mom? Can you edit that out?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, when this gets enough money and my dreams come true and I own the Rocket Fire Explosion, we will make a special video, right, Mom?
Sure.
Thank you.
We'll get a professional video done.
Yeah, we will. And I'm going to be the one recording since I love recording.
Okay.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be the one recording since my recording skills are kind of rough. But you are going to film everything I want you to film, which is everything. Okay, bye, everyone. Bye. Signing out. Okay, bye, everyone. Bye.
Thanks for joining us on My Autistic Experience. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and that it gave you a little insight, hope, or even a smile. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. And if you're looking for a way to bring more ease and organization to your parenting journey, check out the Tiny Mighty Autism Parent Planner. It's packed with tools to help parents like you advocate for your child and find peace in the chaos. You'll find the link in our show notes. Until next time, Remember, every experience is mighty in its own way. See you soon.
This episode is brought to you by the Tiny Mighty Autism Parent Planner, created by my mom, to help parents like yours stay organized, advocate for their kids, and find peace in their journey.